Wait, how would you
that are
get
now
rid of illegal immigrants?
by deporting them.
Hey guys, I want to talk about the left's view on immigration. I realise the clips I'm pulling from are quite old at this point, but it doesn't really matter, as the left's view broadly hasn't changed. Maybe people like Destiny have changed their opinion since this time, but the same points he used back then are still constantly brought up by the left, so I think it's useful to address them anyway.
I feel like the solution to the illegal immigration thing is a very comprehensive one that's going to have to rely on working a lot with Mexico. Putting a wall up won't stop the people that overstay visas, which is 40% of our illegal immigrants. It won't stop the people or the drugs that get here via plane, boat, or car already. I feel like a better solution to Mexico would be working with Mexico until its problems are solved, in order to make it so that people don't want to illegally immigrate from there. I feel like that's like a good solution moving forward that ensures the security of both of our countries. Why wouldn't you want Mexico to be a strong country, even if you have to invest a little bit in building them up?
This is one of the arguments that's commonly put forward by the left. Just solve the underlying cause of immigration and your problems will go away. But like most left-wing solutions, it's overly simplistic and doesn't dovetail with reality. How much money would you need to throw at a country to solve their problems? It's naive to think that that's feasible. And according to this study, evidence actually suggests as people are given more money, their aspirations and capabilities actually coincide with an increase rather than a decrease in emigration. And look at us. In Europe, we've been throwing aid at countries since the 90s in order to tackle these root causes of immigration, and it hasn't helped our immigration problems in the slightest.
If Mexico was as built up as Canada, we know that that would be beneficial.
Wow, it's that easy. Just build up Mexico, click your fingers and make it happen. And all it costs is a bit of love, a sprinkle of fairy dust magic, and a million bajillion gazillion dollars. That's why arguing with left-wingers is so frustrating. Their solutions seem great if they were anyway entrenched in reality, but they are not, unfortunately.
The way we can make our country better is by actually giving Mexico billions and billions of dollars. If they're just like Canada, we're going to benefit from that. That's insane.
I mean, we spent that money rebuilding Iraq, and we didn't get fuck all for that.
You just disproved your own argument. Yes, Destiny, throwing tons of money at a country is unlikely to solve their problems.
You don't want to build a wall. Instead, you want to use a military approach and run sorties over drug cartels.
Sure, and work with Mexico to rebuild its country.
This guy is destroying Destiny so effectively that he's actually got him to advocate for boots on the ground in Mexico. That's amazing.
I don't know if I take the military approach of Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, and fucking Mexico. I don't know if that will work out very well.
I mean, it may or may not, but the wall is an absolutely fucking absurd idea, and there's no proof that it'll help us even a little bit.
Building a wall at your border is more absurd than military action in Mexico.
Like,
Trump's talking about building a wall. You're talking about waging essentially a fucking war.
I'm not talking about waging a war. I'm talking about helping a government that wants to rebuild itself and free itself of cartel influence. I mean, I guess I don't think we're going to get through on this. Like,
Destiny's thinking, oh shit, what am I advocating? I better change the subject as soon as possible.
Do I agree with you telling me that a wall is stupid? No, I don't agree with you on that.
Okay, so if people can come over the wall, dig under the wall, boat around the wall, and drive through the wall, and overstay visas, if people can get through all these different ways, if illegal immigration is a multi-hundred billion dollar a year industry, if you don't believe that, I can find your... Do you think that building a wall and spending all that money on building the wall, you think that that serves American interests?
Yes, of course. That's why President Clinton built up the wall, why George Bush signed the Secure Fence Act of 2006, which was voted for by then Senator Biden and Obama. And Obama also built up the wall. And that's why it looks like Biden too is also building to the wall. Or just ask the Border Patrol agents themselves, who will tell you that the wall is effective. And that doesn't mean that the wall is 100% impenetrable, but it also sends a signal that immigration is being taken seriously.
If illegal immigration is a multi-hundred billion dollar a year industry,
what you have to remember is that the illegal immigrants have to pay the smugglers' fees. So if you have a president who's tough on immigration and is building a wall, that's more likely to deter you, as you don't want to risk the money you've paid the smugglers. Even if the wall was physically ineffective, which it isn't, the psychological effects of the wall being there, combined with Trump's rhetoric on being tough on immigration, that's enough to deter tons of people from risking their immigration fees. And the numbers speak for themselves. Under Biden, DHS was expelling 60% of immigrants back to Mexico under Title 42. By fall of 2022, Biden was only expelling 35%. This is all compared to Trump's 87%.
People do this, right? Like if you go into a really good neighborhood, if you go into the country, these are people that don't lock their doors. Why? Because they trust their neighbors. Like, and I live in fucking Nebraska. I don't know where you live, but that's really common, especially if you go out west. People never fucking lock the doors in the house. That's bizarre as shit to some people. But if you move into a really fucking shitty area, you get really shitty neighbors, you better believe you got a fucking alarm system and fucking ADT and locks.
Really shitty neighbors, Destiny. We have really shitty neighbors.
Again, Destiny just disproved his own point. Yes, if you have bad neighbors, you want security and deterrence in place to stop them from coming in.
Okay, and what I'm saying is we have the opportunity, and what I'm saying is we have the opportunity to work towards making these neighbors better or trying to erect a whole bunch of fucking walls.
Once again, Destiny is living in fairy tale land, where it's easy. All we have to do is make our neighbors better, somehow. Even if that was possible, it would take time. It wouldn't happen overnight. And you just agreed a wall is effective in the meantime. So yeah, this is probably one of Destiny's worst debate performances, excluding maybe the original Brian Dawson one. And the dislike bar speaks for itself.